Fox News is obviously no stranger to defamation lawsuits. They're currently facing a grand total of more than $3 billion worth of defamation lawsuits right now. But this week, Tucker Carlson was actually threatened with another defamation lawsuit from a very unlikely source. The individual threatening to sue Tucker for defamation happens to be a MAGA supporting individual who was at the Stop the Steal rally and then marched to the Capitol on January 6th. Now, this man was never charged with anything. There is no evidence to suggest that he did anything other than march to the Capitol. Well, I take that back. There is evidence that he did one thing. He stopped and chatted with police officers. Friendly conversation, so it seems. But he didn't do anything wrong. And in fact, he actually left after marching to the Capitol, he left early. So he was not in the building. He did not knock down the barricades. The man didn't do anything wrong. He was allowed to march. You're allowed to attend the rally. That's well within your First Amendment rights. The man didn't break the law. But this man, a man by the name of Ray Epps, and you may have heard that name earlier from Tucker Carlson this past week, or you may have heard it from Marjorie Taylor Greene in the past. He has been the subject of conspiracy theories from the right, all because, as I mentioned, he stopped and chit-chatted with police officers. So they are using this man to try to say, aha! Clearly, because he had a friendly conversation with the cops, this means he was in fact some kind of undercover agent sent there by the government to get the MAGA rioters going. And now he has sent a letter. Let me read this from NBC News. In a letter to Carlson and Fox News General Counsel Bernard Guger, Michael Teeter, a lawyer for Ray Epps, said the Fox News host, quote, persists with his assault on the truth by pushing fanciful notions regarding Epps' involvement in the Capitol attack that have been demonstrably and already proven to be false. So, Mr. Epps wants a public apology and a retraction of Tucker Carlson's claims that Mr. Epps was somehow involved in stoking violence because he was working with the feds. Now, Epps actually did go and testify in front of the January 6th committee, basically said what happened. And if anything, he actually exaggerated his role in the Capitol riot because, as I said, all the records show that he actually left early. So he did, text his family, but those texts were kind of overblown, like, oh yeah, I'm fighting for democracy. It's like, you chatted with the cops and then you left. That's actually good for you, by the way. Again, you had every right to be there. Being there was not illegal. You didn't participate in the criminal activity. So good for you, Mr. Epps. And good for you, by the way, for sending this letter demanding that Tucker Carlson apologize. I would love to see you send it to all the other Republicans. Again, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who have pushed these conspiracy theories as well. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people get a little confused because you don't quite understand, because it's complicated if you've never been involved in a defamation lawsuit. There are steps you have to follow in order to file a defamation lawsuit. The first is what Mr. Epps has done right here, having his lawyers reach out to Fox News, to Tucker Carlson, and demand the apology and retraction on the same venue on which the original lies were spread, and that is important. See, defamation, slander, libel laws, those are basically set at the national level. And the first thing you have to do, if I were to sit here and just make something up about somebody, they couldn't immediately hit me with a lawsuit. The first thing they would have to do is what Mr. Epps did here. You would have to, under law, make a good faith effort to reach out to me to get me to issue a public apology and retraction. You got to have both, actually, in most cases. And, as I said, it has to be in the same format with the same reach. So if I said something on this channel that was defamatory, but then I got, on my Instagram and issued the apology and retraction, that wouldn't count because my Instagram is very weak. YouTube channel, not so much. So it has to be, roughly to the same audience where you told the lies. At that point, if the party that committed the alleged defamation does not follow these steps within usually a certain amount of time, at that point, you can file the lawsuit. So I don't know how big Tucker Carlson is on apologies and retractions, so it seems likely that Mr. Epps will probably have to take that next step of filing the defamation lawsuit against Carlson. And this is going to be a tough one for him to try to deny, saying, oh, well, I was just kind of reporting on the news. No, you actually weren't. You spread a conspiracy about a private citizen of the United States, so that bar to prove defamation is a lot lower. So Mr. Epps and his legal team don't really even have a lot to prove left. They pretty much already have it. So if Tucker Carlson doesn't issue that retraction and apology, Mr. Epps has a pretty strong defamation lawsuit ready to go. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.